53. We read this in our responsive reading time. We read verses 1 through 9. I, in particular, want to only read verse 5. But I would that in your quiet time, you might read the entire chapter of Isaiah 53. Verse 5, but he was wounded by our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes, we are healed. I want y'all to get this. But he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with his stripes, we are healed. Thus, in the reading of God's holy word, I want to talk about he did it to save us.
All right.
He did it to save us.
All right.
He was wounded.
Yes, sir.
For our transgressions, bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. He did it to save us. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
I was messed up. And matter of fact, I still got issues.
Right.
Sin is our enemy. But sin brings us death. That's our enemy. And sin separates us from God. And all of us are acquainted with sin. I tell us all the time, every last one of us have a tailor-made sin. All of us, those sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, and fire baptized, got some bad in us.
Right. And it comes down.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And if we are truthful with ourselves, if we KIR and keep it real, we struggle with the bad coming out.
Right.
I mean, once you meet up with Jesus and he become a part of your life, you try to suppress your bad side. But every last one of us, don't care how you try to suppress it, it still comes out.
Right.
Somebody ought to holler back at the house. Anybody in here, you did good for a day? I got in a good week. Anybody you did good for 2 weeks? I got anybody you did a month? We are naughty by nature. We are born in sin and shapen in iniquity. All of us are guilty of crossing the line with God. The preacher, the deacon, the choir, the mission, the ushers, the brother, every last one of us is guilty of crossing the line with God. Sin, sin. The Bible said, if you say you have no sin, now don't get mad. Don't get mad. I'm just getting words. The Bible says you are alive. And the truth ain't in you. Because all of us got a sin problem. All of us got. And Easter simply means that Jesus became our sacrifice.
All right. You preaching.
So somebody had to die for us. That somebody had to shed some innocent blood. And just think about it. Just think about it. Because sin does not stop at word or deed. Thoughts are included. You don't have to think it. I mean, you don't have to do it. You don't have to say it. But if you think it, the Bible says, I don't have some Bible readers up in here. You guilty because you might as well have done it. I wish I had time. I wish I had time to get you to just think about some wrong stuff. And if you think you can entertain yourself. Because all kind of just say it like this, and you got to be careful because there's such a thing as premeditated sin. Some of us intend to sin. You've been good all week. Somebody ought to holler back at me. You've been good all week. Come on, Leon, talk to me. But it's Friday. It's Friday. Somebody ought to talk back to me. It's Friday. It's Saturday night. But tonight, somebody ought to help me right here. Tonight it's gonna be on tonight. I don't have to get up and go to work tomorrow. I'm in the some sin is premeditated.
That's right.
All right.
I wish I could talk about dating, but I'm gonna go on. That's another Sunday. But some dates are premeditated. I'm gonna take old girl. I'm sorry. It's premeditated. And we look at it, and for real, if you really have accepted Christ in your life, it bothers you to sin. I mean, you might have temporary insanity because it do feel good for a moment. But if you really know Jesus, he convicts you right after the moment. He convicts you, and what once made you feel good now makes you feel bad. Anybody in here, you had to talk to yourself. And you even tried to convince yourself that this is gonna be it. I'm gonna do it this one last. Y'all ought to holler back at me. I'm gonna do it this one last time. That's all, Lord. I'm just gonna do it this last, and then Lord, I promise you, Lord. I promise you, Lord. And you only discovered you just meant one more time that day. And it doesn't. Some of us can associate sin with diet. Anybody here on a diet? Been on the diet. Should be on the diet. Anybody, you know you shouldn't eat it that much. See, watch this. It's Easter. And when we leave from here, we're going to eat. Are you going to eat right?
No.
You ain't got to fill your plate up.
You go back to it.
Some of y'all up in here right now, you done premeditated how you gonna eat this evening. I can only say that because Darlene had that thought. Not me. We were looking at that meatloaf, them candied yams, and them greens, that German chocolate cake, that cornbread, some kind of corn casserole, at least. Darlene, not me. I already planned. What we gonna do when we get to the house? We already planned it. And sometimes you have good intentions. They don't always turn out that way. Anybody? You have good intentions. If anybody in here, just be real. You really don't want to be bad. You really don't want to. You really don't want to act the fool. You really don't want to drink. From the purple bag. But you got a little bad in you. You got a little bad in you, and you don't want to do it, but you just. Do I got any folk up in here who just admit you got a sin problem? Some of y'all right now, y'all don't want nobody to know. And can I let you know? They already know. They sitting next to somebody just like this. Right. That's why some folk don't get disturbed. Some folk don't get disturbed when they see folk in church that know them. Ain't no shame in my game, because if you can come. Here we are. In order for us to embrace the word for the day, we're gonna have to accept the fact that we messed up. We're messed up. Even our best, the Bible says, is nothing but as filthy rags under God. You even when you try to do good, you and your good singing self, your good praying self, your good your good preaching self, filthy rags. And then it helps us understand he was wounded for our transgression, bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement of our peace is upon him. And with his stripes, we are healed. He did it to save us. So can I drop off 3 things? And then I'm going to make my exit. Anybody interested? We have to understand that he did it to save us, but he suffered. He suffered. He had to endure suffering to save us. Christ had to go to Calvary's cross, innocent, but to die in our place. I almost entitled this message, "Are you worthy?" He was wounded for our transgression, bruised for our iniquities. Are you worthy of his suffering? Because you have to ask yourself, because we have a little of God in us. Watch this. How do you feel about helping somebody who don't appreciate your help? I wish somebody would just holler back at everybody. How do you feel about always being there for somebody who keeps getting in trouble? I said something this morning about how do you feel about folk always borrowing money from you and never paying you back? How do you feel? And the reason I say that, because some of us suffer for our friends and loved ones. Some of our own friends and loved ones. I see about 3, 4, 5 of y'all would be better off financially if it wasn't for Pookie. Matter of fact, I'm just going out on a limb. I'm going out on a limb. You even had to buy somebody an outfit that don't live with you. Because you didn't want, maybe it was their child. You didn't want y'all holler back at me. You didn't want their child to be the only one without an Easter basket. We sometimes go through some suffering for the ones we love. There's some grandparents, there's some grandparents who have reared their children grown.
Come on.
And now got to take care of.
That's right.
He was wounded for our transgression, bruised for our iniquity. With his stripes we are healed. He had to suffer to save us. And we got to understand that. We got to understand that, because you got to understand where he was and how he felt. And the best way to do that is to think about yourself. How do you feel about somebody suffering for you, knowing that you're gonna do it again? We got parents who take out second mortgages trying to save their children. We got parents. We got parents paying house notes and rent.
Yeah.
All right.
Lord help.
Somebody ought to holler back
Yeah.
there. You love them to death, Brother Harris, but they can't come back up here now with that. I'm going to help you right here. Here. Oh, Lord, no. How much is your rent? You can't come up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay them
And you got to be careful because, that's why you got to be careful because some children, when they get grown, they want to act grown. They don't want to be grown.
Right.
And that's suffering to the parent. That's you want to be grown, but you can't get your own.
Yeah.
And you got the audacity to come up in my house, ain't got no job, ain't no bills in your name, and you got the audacity to look at me in my face and tell me you grown people.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Amen. Right.
And sometimes I wish somebody would help me right here.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would help me right here. I talk about it a lot, but I ain't gonna really put my children out, but I want them to at least think I will. That's all I'm saying. I at least want them to, I don't want them to get comfortable. But when they still up in your, it's all right if they up in there and they know how to respect you,
Right.
But some of them rascals, all I'm saying. And so he had to suffer. And he didn't say a moment.
You're right.
He suffered so that he can save us. The second thing is, not only did he suffer, but he died. Innocent. But he died for you. I used to, I talk a lot about my brother Johnny, but can I talk about Thomas for a minute? What was yeah, Tamarine, I got to tell it. I'm gonna have to tell this. And don't y'all tell it. Mama used to make us take up for each other. She used to make us take up for each other. And Thomas would get into a fight. David, I jump in to help him, and then he's on the sideline telling me what to do. Hit him. I'm like, this ain't even my fight. It ain't even my fight. And sometimes, that do you understand? That's what the Lord doing for us. He jumped in.
Yeah.
And it ain't even his fight, but he's fighting for us. So that he might save. He died. Innocent, hadn't done nothing.
Yes, sir.
But the book says he was wounded. Not for his.
Right.
But for our transgression, he was bruised. For our iniquities. He died in our place that he might save us. And some of us, we got to acknowledge, we got to learn how to acknowledge that we ain't all that.
Right.
He died for us.
Yeah.
He went all the way. He went all the way because an atonement, a sacrifice had to be made so that you and I could have a right to the tree of life. And sometimes it may appear that his death was in vain.
Lord help.
Again, can I ask, are you worth it? Are you? Because he died a death of agony. He died a suffering death. He hung on Calvary's cross with nails in his hand, spikes in his feet, and then a soldier pierced him in the side for you and me. Wounded. Bruised. Hadn't done nothing, but he did it because he loved us.
Yes.
On Calvary, he declared it's finished. Gave up the ghost, bowed his head, gave up the ghost. He died. So much so you got to understand, he even suffered in the Garden of Gethsemane when he prayed, Father, if it be possible. He sweated so till drops of sweat dropped down like blood as he said, remove this cup. If it be possible, but nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. So he died for us. He paid the penalty. That the wages sin is death. He died. He died. He died. He died. He did it. He did it. He did it. So that he could save us. And then the last thing, he suffered, he died, but he rose. He suffered, he died, but he rose. It looked like the end, but it was only the beginning. Friday, he was buried. Sunday, he was up. Friday, he went down. Sunday, he got up. He rose for us. I don't care. Sometimes you got to make it personal. DeAndre, sometimes you got to make it personal. I don't know how you feel about it, but he got up for me. Although I messed up. Although I got some issues. I know somebody that loves me enough that he suffered for me. He was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities, but God raised him up. And I gotta make it personal because he did it to save a wretch like me. He looked beyond all of my faults. Anybody got some faults? But then he saw what I needed. Out on Calvary. Oh yeah. Surely he died, but God raised him up. Now I recognize that I am messed up. I recognize that every now and then I get a little dirty. But I know somebody who is able to pick me up, turn me around. He can plant my feet on solid ground. And I'm glad. Yeah, I am. I'm glad that he did it just for me. I thank the Lord for him suffering for me. I thank the Lord He can mold me. He can make me over again. And I'm glad. I'm glad. Well, I haven't always been where God wanted me to be. Matter of fact, I've gone to some places that I shouldn't have gone. I've done some things that I shouldn't have done. I've said some things that I knew I shouldn't have said. But you're looking at an extreme makeover. Because one day, he picked me up, turned me around, placed my feet on solid ground. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm not what I ought to be, but I thank God I'm not what I used to be, because he died. Anybody know he died? He died. Yes, he died. Sunday morning, he got up. Anybody know he got up? He got up with power in his hand. And I'm glad he did it for me. Are you glad that he did it for you? Anybody in here glad that God is able? He's able. He's yes, he's able. I just want to tell him thank you. I just want to tell him thank you. Thank you for dying for me. I thank you for going to Calvary. I thank you for the nails in your hand. I thank you for the spikes in your feet. I thank you for the spear in your side. I thank you for the blood that came streaming down, because the blood will never lose its power. Good evening, but ain't the Lord all right? I said, ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? If you know he's all right, say yes. Say yes. Say ah. Say ah. Yeah. Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? I know he's all right. 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 He did it to save us. And I'm glad that I'm saved. Anybody glad you're saved? Come on, anybody glad you're saved? We're a church now. We're not a perfect church, but we are people striving for perfection. He saves. He saves. Anybody know he saves? He saves. It's no secret what God can do. What he's done for others, he'll do the same for you. Somebody today, some man, some woman, some boy, or some girl need to give your life to God. Today is a good Sunday. Today is a real good Sunday to give your life over to Jesus.